Hey guys, how's it going? Tom Greenwood here. This is Everyman Carpentry YouTube channel. I'm actually doing some like carpentry, so I figure I would talk about exactly what I'm doing. So what we have here is let me get outside where you can see a little better. So what happened is a whole bunch of water got into the house and kind of destroyed this entire beam, right? So you can see that beam is just rotten. And what it does is it holds that wall right there from the wall here out. There's a truss, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4 more trusses here. That's completely rotten, and this one's pretty shot too, bad enough that I'm going to replace it. So what I'm doing is I'm holding the house up. Originally there's this 4x4, and it's not really doing much. It's completely bowed. I got called because the 4x4 was bowed, and they wanted to be able to support it. And opening up to be able to replace the 4x4, turns out there was a whole bunch more damage. So what I'm doing right now, what I've got is my bracing in place, and the whole point is to be able to hold this up. So what I did is I took a 2x4 right there. You can see that 2x4. I ran it across, and I put big old lag GRKs. You guys have seen me use GRKs. So I doubled it up onto that trussing there, and then I ran the 2x4 to the ground, 2x4 ground up, so it's holding the weight of that wall. And then I used a little bit of cross bracing to keep those 2x from shifting. And then over here we have trusses, and these trusses are carrying the majority of the weight of that roof, right? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, and they rest on that 2x10 beam there. So I need to be able to support the weight of the roof that is going to be resting on that beam right there temporarily. So what I did is I came in and I ran a 10-foot 2x4 up, and I screwed it off to the side of that truss right there at the end, so it's carrying the weight. And I took another one, ran it from the ground up, and put it right underneath that truss, so the weight is pushing down on it, right? So I got 1, 2, 3, 4 of those exactly the same, and then I screwed them together, and that makes like an L shape, and that L shape keeps this stud from like wobbling, and it also keeps it dimensionally stable in this dimension, keeps it from wobbling. So that'll keep support up into that roof line, keeping that roof in place long enough for me to rip out that beam and replace it, and rip out that beam and replace it. So this is kind of like I won't say bread and butter, but I've done this quite a bit, where I'm holding up the weight of the house, and then I'm ripping out a beam that's in place and replacing the beam. And the shame of it is that if whoever had been here before me had done their jobs correctly, it's a series of failures here, I wouldn't be here. All right, and all of this started, all of this damage was done, excuse me, by just the sheer fact that a couple of mistakes were made. So that siding is sitting right on that roof. It's supposed to be gapped a 1/2 inch to 1 inch, but it's right there. If we get up close, we can see, climb up this ladder. If we get up close, we can see where all of that damage, where the water came down, and the gutter's a little close. The gutter's gonna have to be moved off the house. So the water might have flown over the gutter, and it flowed down that J channel, and it got in there and it dripped down, and it destroyed the decking there. It destroyed the bottom of that truss, so I have to effect a repair there. It destroyed that top plate and killed the beam, just destroyed the beam. They had some damage to the house that we're gonna have to come back and deal with at a later date. Right now, they get the porch fixed, but they had a fix inside, and whoever affected that fix, when I came out here, they didn't get that quite right, and that water got in there and just destroyed everything. I mean, it's just toast. So I've got it held up, and I'm gonna be able to rip that thing out and replace it. Anyway, so this is how I hold up this roof line, keep the roof in place over that porch so it doesn't shift while it's there. This kind of stuff is I use the same concept over and over and over of supporting the weight, the load on the house over and over. I support the weight to be able to rip out all the rot, holding the structural members in place, rip out all that rot, replace all of that crap and then come back and get it properly flashed and Tyvek and fixed. It's really a shame. It shouldn't be like this. The builders on this house are bankrupt 10 years ago, and they really, or 20, however long ago, they really, in a just world, somebody could take them out in the street and tune them up real quick. Not that I advocate violence, but somebody needs to be held accountable. Unfortunately, the legal system protects them in this case from justice or having to pay for what they fucked up. Anyway, so super important. Water over a slow period of time can completely destroy a house. Just takes a couple of drips over the course of 10 years, 20 years. Suddenly you've got a major problem. So anyway, I'll be able to get all this ripped out and put back together for these guys. Initially came here to replace a post that was bowing. Turned into a much bigger project than that. Sorry for the homeowner, but this is why you really need to have good builders, reputable builders, people who know what they're doing, because you get problems like this that shouldn't exist. I should not be here. So I'm going to do my best to get everything sealed up, watertight, completely squared away so that they don't ever have this problem in our lifetimes, and that the other damage that's been done that has to get taken care of, we can at least keep this stuff from getting any worse, and then come back in the future and fix the other stuff too. So anyway, that's a little insight on how to hold up a roof of a house long enough to rip out the beams that are holding it up. Anyway, stay hydrated, stay cool. Hope you guys are enjoying your first day of summer out there, and I'll shoot a video when I get everything put together so you guys can kind of see how I go at it, to try and waterproof everything and keep it so that we don't have problems for our clients in the future. Anyway, hope you're having a good day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.